So is this the beginning of the end of that bad man? Is this the beginning of the end for the GOAT? And is this the beginning of the end for all those Zeke and Dak doubters? Well, we're going to see if we can try to answer those questions and a lot more as we get you ready for week 8 of NFL action as well as some fantasy football action tonight on Fantasy Football Fever, which starts right now. And a pleasant good evening to you. My name is Tim McClellan. This is Fantasy Football Fever for October 25th, 2022. Less than a week away from Halloween. Hopefully, everybody got some costumes picked out. And well, I'm just here with my boys here, the host of Hooked on Sports over here. That's Mr. John Flynn.
Hey, hey, hey.
And of course, down here is the commissioner of our league, Mr. John Natale. How are you, sir?
Yeah, feeling good. Yeah, I can't believe we're already at the halfway point of the season already. 7 games down, 7 games to go in the fantasy season.
Yeah, it seems like time flies when you're having fun. I guess that's the old line that goes. And so the weather is getting colder, the action is getting hotter, and well, we have to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and jump into this thing right now because well.
I know where you're going.
We've got a gloater, everyone.
I know where this is going.
Let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and share the screen and let y'all know exactly what happened here. So we'll just let y'all take a look for yourself. As soon as the screen gets up there.
Yeah, it's up there.
It's up there. And going through our games and our matchups from last week, it was old yours truly who just happened to give our good friend Mr. Flynn his first losses of the season, albeit it was a very, very close finish. I finished at one.
Christian Kirk getting stopped at the 1 yard line made that difference.
Oh yeah, that's. Oh my God, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Christian Kirk, remember?
Oh my gosh,
Flynn loves it one way, but he hates it the other way.
Oh my God! I totally forgot that's how I lost the fantasy. Oh my God! Hey, but let's listen. I'll tell you because the Giants are 6-1, just like my fantasy team is 6-1. But I did not realize that was how I lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christian Kirk may have just made the difference in this matchup. Probably could have made the difference, but he will probably now be the bane of John Flynn's existence.
So, I mean, I care a lot more about the Giants, who are surprising 6-1. They have the second best record in the NFL over my fantasy teams. But I did not until Natale brought up a Christian Kirk. And by the way, that's exactly how you defend a situation like that. And props to Wink Martindale and the Giants for doing that. But I mean, I didn't realize that was how I lost. But that was a galvanizing win for Tim, and now he's in a position to do some damage in this league in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, 137.52 to 135.2 was the final score there. Although, and we now have a tie in first place overall. We'll get to that momentarily. We have Natale's team who took down Andrew's team, 149.46 to 139.2. Natale's
Smith. He came through on Monday Night Football. I said, thank you, Roquan Smith. He came through in Monday Night Football.
Oh yeah?
I was down by 6.
Yes, so a 2-game winning streak for you, 2-game winning streak for Tim. So both of you started 1-4. Now you've won 2. Each of you have won 2 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Going on the upside, we're 3-4, while Andrew
Wonder if it's
drops
time for a
to.
name change. We'll see.
It's probably time for a name change for me, but I'll explain that a little bit later. Right now, going down last week, our friend Nick took down our friend Irene 117.24 to 91.9.
And the feel around Nick's team is a lot different than what it was a couple of weeks ago. His team is going to be one to watch in the coming weeks, because he just got Tua back. He was on a limited capacity, but he's still. I thought he played very well on Sunday night, given what his limitations were against the stingy Pittsburgh defense.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have been picked. Oh, if I would have been quick to put him back in, but hey, more power to the Dolphins. Congratulations for them.
And they get the Lions this week.
Yes, they do. Lions are going to be going into this week a little disappointed, but we'll cover that in our pick'ems. Meanwhile, our good friend Dino took a victory over Adams OWA Superstars by a score of 139.18 to 120.32. Now we have Dino and Flynn tied overall with 6-1 records.
And also, how about his leading scorer, Devondre Campbell? He had the pick 6 against Taylor Heineke, and that was what led him to, what propelled him most to victory. So the defensive player came up big in this matchup.
Yes, he did. And look at Ezekiel. He got 17.7 fantasy points. And
also the garbage time production from Chris Olave in that wild Saints Cardinals game played a different, helped as well.
That's right. And finally, Casey took down Alex 182.44 to 142.72. I think that was the biggest win of the week in fantasy here.
He had Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase both had big weeks. I mean, Joe Burrow threw for 481 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Falcons, and Jamar Chase had a 60-yard touchdown.
181 yards. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Joe Burrow was terrific against Atlanta. I knew Cincinnati was going to put up a lot of numbers because Atlanta's defense has no talent, but that's the stuff that we saw from Joe Burrow last year, and we'll get more into Cincinnati when they, at the end of tonight's podcast, when they take because they have the Monday night game against Cleveland, but now we're halfway through the season, and now I think we need an update on where things stand.
Yeah, let's take a look at what we got here now. Am I saving the screen here? No, that's a different screen, so I'm going to have to change it up a little bit. Don't worry, we're going to try to get the screen up here for you. We're going to show you where we fit in the standings for our fantasy league. We'll go ahead and pop that up here right now. Over in the Abadabadoo division, we have Dino sitting pretty at 6-1. We have Alex Putnam with his Taylor Made at 4-3. We have Natalie and myself tied with 3-4 records. And bringing up the rear is Andrew at 1-6. Oh, why am I yawning so much? Over in the What's Up Doc division, Flynn is still holding good with a 6-1 record right there. Casey is at 5-2 right now. Andrew and Nick are tied 3-4. 3 wins and 4 losses each for them. And Irene is down at the bottom of that division, 1-6. And you see the season stats right here. Of course, Flynn has scored the most fantasy points, but There's a slight difference between this past week, and about 2 weeks ago. It was like what 200 points. Now it's like
210 points now.
about just 210 points now, separating Dino and Flynn for points four.
And then the easiest in terms of the opposing competition. I mean, Andrew's gotten crushed. I mean, I dropped 191 on him in week 2, and then I dropped the line on Irene and Natalia earlier in the year. So.
And meanwhile, Dino is having good points for allowing the least points in fantasy this year. I'm right behind him at a close second, with Casey up at third place. So I guess with that, we'll go ahead and preview. Where's that button? There it is. There it is. Okay, let's go ahead and stop that screen. We will go ahead and switch back to this one here to preview our matchups for this coming week. And yes, I'm going up against Irene this week. My projected total is 128.4. She's at 117.7. With her man Tom Brady, with Cooper Kupp, and Run CMC Christian McCaffrey, of course.
Now with the 49ers, that's a big topic of conversation.
Yes, Christian McCaffrey recently traded from the Panthers to the Niners. And of course, we mentioned Irene, and we mentioned Tom Brady.
Hating from the sideline, a flag on the play, like Julio with them.
Yeah, but the way Tom Brady's been acting and playing, it's more like he is 45 than he is 35.
Right. So, of course, also this week Nick is going up against Andrew, and Nick has a projected total of 137.7, and Andrew is projected 101.7. Of course, he's got two Kirk Cousins and Joe Mixon, his big hands, projected leaders for his fantasy squad. Although I'm not going to sneeze at Jalen Hurts, Geno Smith, and Justin Jefferson either. But
yeah, but also notice Andrew only has eight slots filled, so he needs to make changes. So that matchup is going to be a lot tighter than what it currently indicates. As is the next one.
Yes, Dino against Flynn here. Flynn projected now at 139.5, and Dino at 126.4. So if Flynn's got 10, Dino's got 9. Got one spot to fill for the matchup start there. Casey will be taking on Adam, 131.8 projection for Casey, 102.1 for Adam. Oh my god. I didn't know how tired I was, but I wanted to get through. I wanted to do this show because that's my appointed duty here. And finally, we'll have Natalie going up against Alex Putnam. Putnam has 122.4 right now to 117.2. So just making a lot of changes in the league, because we do want to let everyone know that we have two teams that are be going on the bye week, and surprisingly, both those teams are in the AFC West division. So, all of you out there, be sure to bench or drop any players that you have who play for the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chiefs and the Chargers are on the bye this week, so adjust your rosters accordingly. And for all you Chiefs and Chargers fans, y'all just gonna have to wait till next week's show. So so we're just gonna have that here. And let's see here. Oh, usually this would be around the time where where she would pop in and say hello, but I guess she must be busy. But anyway, Brandy, if you're out there, how you doing? So, I guess with that, we'll just go ahead and before we go into our picks, let's go ahead and take a look at our pick'em results from last week and so far, this week here. Wait a minute, let me. I gotta pop that screen up here, don't I? Yeah, here we go. We'll pop that screen up here. Oh, someone. I believe someone is knocking. I think we're gonna let him in. Hey, well, you know, it's our friend Dino.
Acknowledge me. I'm the tribal chief of the fantasy football.
All right, let's see how it goes after this week. Let's see how it goes after this week.
Okay, looking at last week,
All right, let's see
straight up, I actually did better than I thought I would. I went 10
I'm
and
coming
4.
to beat Finn's team.
Last week, we have 10 and 4 for me. Flynn went 8 and 6, and Tally went 9 and 5. And against the spread, I went 8 and 6. Flynn was even 7-7, and the Tally went 5 and 9. So when you look at our season totals straight up, Flynn still has the advantage, 66-39-1. The tally is behind him with 63-44-1, and I have 61-46-1. Against the spread here, I have a very, very, very slight edge over Flynn against the spread for the season, 55-51-2. Flynn at 54-52-2, and a tally at 47-59-2. So, with that being said right here, we will go ahead and take that screen off of here. And we will go ahead. Let's find that other one here. Let's go ahead and pop the games on the screen here. We'll pop the games as well as the spreads. And of course, we always invite you out there to pick the games along with us. See if you can pick the games better than we can. So if we're all ready, we are going to start, of course, with the Thursday night football competition. That will be, of course, on Prime Video. The Baltimore Ravens are going to be traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. And the Ravens are coming in at Ravens are 1.5 point favorites. Okay, Flynn. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing going. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, if you remember my takes about the Ravens last week, Lamar Jackson is not. They don't allow him to win ugly. But look, the Buccaneers are one of the worst teams in the NFC right now. Their offense is completely non-existent, and this all goes back to Tom Brady having too much power. I mean, Tom Brady wanted Bruce Arians out. He gets Todd Bowles instead. Todd Bowles has no idea what he is doing in terms of the offensive structure of the game. Tom Brady also, as is taking off every Wednesday for maintenance. He's been away from the team for too long, and as a result, the team is out of sync as a result. So I'll take the Ravens. I think the Ravens have the better coach. I think they have the better quarterback. They have the better defense. I'll take the Ravens to win this game 24-17 over the Buccaneers, guys.
All right, Natalie, what do you say on this one?
Yeah, I have no idea why the Bucs are in such a mess. It's crazy. So much for me saying they would go 13-4. They already have 4 losses, I believe. But yeah, I think he made a mistake coming back, and yeah, basically it's karma's out to get him.
Yeah.
The Ravens are clearly the better team right now, despite their troubles last week. So, yeah, I think that 1.5 spread is way too low. It's still going to be a one-score game, though. Give me the Ravens to win 24-20.
All righty then. Dino, what do you see in this one?
24-21, Buccaneers win.
Oh, he's actually going with the Buccaneers here. And he's going...
I need Flynn's team to throw 4 interceptions. So
I think this is for Dino.
Okay, so you're only making this pick because you know Lamar Jackson is my quarterback in fantasy this week, right? You want the fireworks? Of course you. That's exactly why.
I have to beat you this week.
Well, good luck, Buster.
I won't have any help. I have to get a new tight end.
Well, guess what? My tight end's on bye too. So.
Well, it seems. It seems to me that Dino is pretty much going to be the lone wolf here because I am going to go ahead and take the Ravens here. I've not seen Tom Brady on such a terrible team since probably his first year in the league. I mean, you usually don't say those words in the same sentence. Tom Brady
Maybe they need to
and bad
Tom
team.
Brady.
Yeah, that's. I mean, maybe.
Do the same thing the Colts
you know, Irene's not going to bench Tom Brady, even though he is on her fantasy team. She's not going to bench him.
Hating from the sideline, the flag on the play. Like Julio with them.
Yeah, ain't no way. There's no way that she's going to bench him. But if I had him, I would bench him because Ravens are the better team, better offense, better defense, better coach. I am taking the Ravens over the Buccaneers. This is not my upset special, but it's going to be an upset nonetheless. Give me the Ravens by a score of let's call it 27-24. I'll give it a 3-point victory for those Ravens, even though Tom Brady will make it close. It looks like Flynn has had some technical difficulties again, so he may go on his mobile. Okay, now we're going to go to the Sunday games. First game on the schedule is going to be on ESPN Plus. It is in Wembley Stadium in London, England. And I think Flynn's back. He's on his mobile right now, so we'll bring him back. And it seems like every year the Jacksonville Jaguars have a game in London. I guess that's their second home. This year they're going to be in London against the Denver Broncos. And we have Jacksonville at a 2.5-point favorite. So, Flynn, what about this game in jolly old England?
So much for me with my takes on the Broncos. Look, the Denver Broncos are a completely non-existent offense. There's no shred of evidence that Nate Hackett has any idea what the hell he's doing. The Denver offense is completely out of sync, and there's no end in sight. And Brett Rippon is the quarterback. Look, Jacksonville's been bad in one-score games. They're 0-5. In one-score games this year, and that's a lot to do with my takes on Doug Peterson and the Jaguars. I never disagree. I never agree with the hire because I don't think he's the one that can win games in the fourth quarter. So I'm going to take the Jaguars. They're going to win this game 21-16 over the Broncos in Wembley.
All right, Natalia, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I got to give the Jaguars a lot of credit. They're playing better than I thought they would. The James Robinson trade now assures that Travis Etienne is their clear number one back. He's been having a pretty solid season. I mean, while the Broncos' defense has been half decent, their offense is a lot worse compared to Jacksonville. So Jacksonville is going to win this one 26-20.
All right, Dano.
Let's go Denver 24-21.
Oh, he's going with Denver 24-21. Well, I guess once again, Dino's the lone wolf here because I'm taking Jacksonville here. I I totally echo everything that Flynn said about the Broncos, and I will add that Russell Wilson is just a shell. He is now a shell of what he used to be when he was back in Seattle. He was one of the best quarterbacks. He was probably the most underrated quarterback in the league. Now he's just pretty much like the Bronco offense, totally non-existent. Give me the Jaguars to win in jolly old England by a score of 28-20. And that's all I want to say about that. We have an NFC South matchup in Atlanta. The Falcons are at home. They'll be taking on the Carolina Panthers with the Falcons as 4.5-point favorites, Flynn.
Yeah, I have no idea what Falcons team we're going to get on a week in, week out basis. I mean, I picked the 49ers to bludgeon the Falcons, and then the Falcons will beat them by double digits. Then last week, I picked Atlanta to make it a close game, and then Joe Burrow throws 481 yards against them. I have no idea what this Falcons team is about, but what I will tell you is that they have the better coach going into this game, and look, Carolina, they showed some things against Tampa that I think need to be taken seriously. Look, I still think the Panthers are the worst team in the NFL, and I think they're on the inside track to getting the get a top 3 or 4 pick. But I think this is a divisional game. It has to be close by rule. I'll take the Falcons to win 20-17. Give me the points with the Panthers.
All right. 2017, Flynn with the points to the Panthers, but the win to the Falcons. The tally, go.
Yeah, I think this game you could pretty much consider the toilet bowl game. This one is probably a snooze fest. Yeah, both offenses are so bad. It's just going to come down to defense at this point. Both teams are awful. I'm just going to go with the team that's probably just a hair better. That's the Falcons. I'll take the Panthers with points, though. It's going to be probably the lowest combined point total among all these games. Give me the Falcons in a modest 17-14 win.
All right. Dino, what do you say here?
28-24, Carolina.
I think we're seeing a pattern here now, aren't we? Well, anyway, Carolina is trash, and just like Flynn said, you never know what Falcons team you're going to get. It's either high or low or in between, but I still got to go with a slight edge to Atlanta. Actually, this is going to be my point spread game of the week. I'm going to take Carolina with the points, but I'm going to give the Falcons a victory here. I'm going to say this is going to be a 24-21 victory over Atlanta. Atlanta wins, but Carolina wins on the point spread, though. Now we're going to go to Big D with my boys, the Dallas Cowboys. Are second straight game at home this streak, and they have these Chicago Bears coming into AT&T Stadium, and the Cowboys are 9.5-point favorites. So, Flynn, Cowboys are looking pretty good again.
So yeah, I credit the Bears a lot for finding a way to win. I think Matt Eberflus is a guy that's going to get the Bears back to relevancy. It's going to be a matter of them acquiring talent, and it's going to take a while for them to recover from the damage that Nagy and Pace left. But this Cowboys defense is so much different than the finesse defense that they faced last night. I think this is going to be a big game for Micah Parsons. I think this is going to be a big game for DeMarcus Lawrence. It's going to be a big game for Trayvon Diggs. I think the Cowboys are going to score a defensive touchdown along for the point total. I'll take the Cowboys to win this game 31-16 over the Bears.
Wow, that's a good one here, Flynn. Flynn, that was a nice one there. Natalie, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, especially with Dak back in the fold, the Cowboys are a lot better now. I mean, yeah, Cooper Rush did a fine job, but Dak back, it's only going to make them 10 times better. And, yeah, like Flynn said, their defense is very strong, too. So, yeah, the Bears are pretty much boring now. They're irrelevant at this point. They're going to have a tough time with standing up to the Dallas offense. So I'm going to double up. Give me Dallas 27, Chicago 17.
27-17, Natalie says for the Cowboys. Dino, what are you saying?
31-24, Cowboys win.
All right. And so he's riding on it, and I'm going to ride on my boys too. I'm telling you, Micah Parsons, Stephen A. Smith himself said it. Micah Parsons is the second coming of Lawrence Taylor. I mean, that young man right there, probably one of the best draft picks the Cowboys have ever gotten. I don't know if I could say better than Emmitt Smith or any of the Super Bowl guys that we drafted that year. Or, of course, a lot of those guys ended up getting rid of from the big trade robbery, which sent Herschel Walker to the Vikings. And well, we know the history of that, but the Cowboys defense is just going to be too much for Justin Fields and for those Chicago Bears. I am picking a huge win for the Cowboys here to go into the bye week or riding high. Give me the Cowboys by a score of 34-21. And
it's your lock of the week?
Yeah, baby. Cowboys are my lock of the week. And so with that, we're going to head to the team that the Cowboys took down last week, the Detroit Lions. They're back at home this week, but they got Tua and the Miami Dolphins coming into town, and the Dolphins are coming into Ford Field as 3.5-point favorites. So, Flynn, what do you see here?
Yeah, I'm giving up on the Lions after betting them with the points so many weeks. I mean, Dan Campbell is 4-18-1 in his career as an NFL head coach, and he's a nice guy. But he just doesn't have it as an NFL coach. He is much more of a lieutenant. He has the worst defense in the NFL. And who do they get? They get Mike McDaniel, Tua Tagovailoa, Raheem Mostert, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and that Miami offense. This is no match for what they have. So I'll take the Dolphins to win this game 41-26 over the Lions.
Woof.
Ooh,
it's not my lock of the week yet. So,
I got you. Natalie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Lions are pretty much a mess, and right now, they're dealing with an injury situation, and remains to be seen if their best player will be able to play. Amon-Ra St. Brown got injured again. Their defense is pretty terrible. Dolphins have respectable defense. However, I kind of see this more in the lower scoring affair. Somehow I do think the Lions are going to make it interesting, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be a one-score game. Give me the Dolphins to win 27-20.
Okay, Dino.
I'm going to lock in the Dolphins.
What's your score?
31-17. And I think that the Lions fire the coach.
You think Dan Campbell's going to go after this? Really? That's a good prediction.
Oh, wow. Somebody might want to take a note on that. I mean, y'all watching out there, if y'all writing stuff down, you might want to write down what Dino just said.
Yeah.
Put it, as I say on that ESPN Fantasy Football podcast, put it on the board.
All right, now it's just me and Flynn have our locks remaining.
Yeah, well, Dan Campbell, I think he was a better player than he is a coach. Dolphins just got a little bit of their mojo back when they got Tua back. So I'm going to take the Dolphins here. I'm going to take the Dolphins to win this one by a score of 27-20. Now we go to Minnesota, where the Vikings are going to be home against the Atlanta Falcons. Vikings at home, 4-point favorites. Flynn, what do you see here?
Yeah, the last time Kirk Cousins and Kyler Murray faced off last year, it was one of the most fun games of the season. We had a crazy second half. The Vikings lost on a winning field goal So I think the Cardinals got a big shot in the arm when they got DeAndre Hopkins back. I mean, Hopkins had 10 catches for 103 yards for Arizona. So credit Natalia for being patient with him and riding out the 6-game suspension for him. But I think this is going to be a back and forth game between two high powered offenses, and I think this game is going to be one where whoever gets the ball last is going to win. So I'll take the Vikings to win 31-28.
All right. Tally, what do you think about this one? We got Cardinals and Vikings.
Yeah, this one was actually the hardest one for me to call out of all the games. This one can really go either way. Both offenses are evenly matched. It's all going to come down to the defense. It's going to come down to probably the last minute or so. And my score is pretty similar to Flynn's. I could see the Cardinals covering the exact 4-point spread. It's going to be a 4-point game, but give me the Vikings 31-27.
Dino.
Give me Arizona 31-28.
That counts as an upset, Tim.
You know what? I think you're right. And I'm going to take the Vikings here with the exact same score as Natalie. 31-27. Give me the Vikings over those Cardinals.
Nice.
And now we go to New Orleans. The Saints are at home against the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders come in at 2-point favorites. So, Flynn, what kind of team? I guess with either team you ask, what kind of team you're going to see?
I just mean if there's a team with as bleak a future, there's no team in the NFL with a bleaker future than New Orleans Saints. The Saints are 2-5. They have one of the worst teams in football, and the Eagles have their first round pick next year. So, and also they have the worst salary cap situation. So eventually, all those years of going over the cap was going to bite at them at some point. And it's right here. The defense is terrible. Andy Dalton is the quarterback. And look, I love the Raiders. I'll take the Raiders with Carr and Adams. And I'm not looking forward to Devontae Adams going off on that Saints defense. But I'll take the Raiders to win and cover. Raiders 27, Saints 17.
Natalie.
Yeah, I think this one's kind of another tough one. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by the Saints' bad start. I had them as I think borderline wildcard team if I remember correctly. Now I'm going to check my notes here really quick. Okay, I'm looking at my notebook with my standings prediction. Looks like I'm way off on the Saints. I had them going 11-6. That was a total bust. While they have respectable players with Alvin Kamara, other than that, and to a lesser extent, Taysom Hill, he's like Jekyll and Hyde. You don't know what you're going to get out of him. If Hill has a monster game, they're going to win. But if he does nothing, they essentially are going to lose. While the Raiders are bad, I think the Saints are worse. I'm going to take the Raiders here. There's no way the Saints are going to cover those points. It's still going to be a one-score game, though. Give me the Raiders to win 28-20.
Dino.
Give me the Raiders 31-28.
Nice here. I got the Raiders taking this one by a score of 21-17. New Orleans just isn't the same now that their future Hall of Famer retired, and Taysom Hill, like Natalie said, never know what you're going to get out of him. So if you have a player who plays different positions, then I guess it's going to be a little bit shaky. So I'm taking the Raiders 21-17 over the Saints. Now we're going to go to the matchup, which in the past, this matchup was always a mismatch. Not so much so now. It's the New England Patriots heading into New York to take on those New York Jets. And are you kidding me? Patriots 1.5 point favorites, Flynn?
Yes, they are.
Go.
Yeah. So when we did all of our AFC East previews back in August, this was actually the first game I had the Jets winning. I mean, 0-7, my ass. The Jets are 5-2. They're playing great defense, but they received some brutal injury news as their star tackle Ollie Tucker is out for the season. Breece Hall is out for the season with ACL tears. That's going to be bad for the Jets and Zach Wilson's development. Lost in the shuffle with the Jets winning is Zach Wilson has not been good. He has been static. He's been he's been nothing like the number 2 overall pick that the Jets expected from him when they got him last year. So I think that's going to be a bit bad enough. But the Jets defense is an unfair matchup for the Patriots offense. I mean, Mac Jones got benched for Bailey Zappi, who was just playing hot potato with the football last night. So the Patriots are in a mess. Bill Belichick fouled that up so badly, it's not even funny. I'll take the Jets to win this game 20-16 over the Patriots.
Okay, Natalie, what do you say here?
Yeah, I think this is the first game here where I see a spread here I completely disagree with. I mean, yeah, the Jets have been proving people wrong. Yeah, somehow they've been finding a way. They've had a very solid offseason. They have probably a potential defensive rookie of the year, maybe, depending on how he does. Sauce Gardner, I think he's been pretty solid on defense. Now, with Breece Hall out, the Jets have really had no choice. Trading for James Robinson, that's going to help them in the long run. And Michael Carter is a solid number 2 back. So I think they're going to be a nice 1-2 punch that are going to take down New England 28-25.
28-25. Jets flying high again. Dino.
I'm taking the Jets 20-17.
And I will make it unanimous. Those Jets are just like Natalie said, they're proving people wrong. I used to always say Jets just in the season. Not this year. Not this year. This year, those letters stand for
just evolving the season.
Just enjoy the season.
Okay, close.
Yeah, because the Jets are riding high. They're proving their doubters wrong, and they're gonna do it again to New England. Give me the Jets to fly high over the Patriots by a score of 24-21. It may not be Zappy hour, but they'll kind of keep it close. But I got the Jets with a 3-point lead. Y'all get the joke, Zappy hour.
Zappy makes me happy until
Zappy makes me happy.
Oh
boy.
Pizzle says hi.
Oh, where's Pizzle? Let me get to the notes here.
Pizzle says hi.
What's up, boys? Oh yes, let me say that. Let me show that off here.
What's up, Alex?
Yes, Alex Putnam in our league.
And this would be a good time to drop a promo to listen to the critically acclaimed Four Horsemen podcast that comes out tomorrow.
That's right.
On Wednesdays.
Yeah, Wednesdays during the season. It's A Pizzle 90, along with yours truly. They call me Tiny Tim over there. We got LC Muscles and maybe Steel Sermon will be back with us. It's the Four Horsemen of Pick'Ems thing tomorrow on YouTube on the A Pizzle 90 channel. That's his YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/A Pizzle 90. That's where you can find it. What's up, Alex? How you doing, bro? Now we are going to go now to the first of what we have 3 in-state games that we're going to be covering. The first of which is the Battle of the Keystone State. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers heading into Philadelphia to take on their in-state rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles, or as I call them, the Chickens. And the Eagles are 10.5-point favorites, and with good reason, Flynn.
Yeah, I think you can make an argument the Eagles are the best team in the NFC, and I think they're the only team in the NFC that's worthy of being a Super Bowl contender because the Eagles haven't dominated the line of scrimmage. The offensive line, defensive line, they've been outstanding. They've done an unbelievable job running the football, and they had 2 weeks to get ready for Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. And look, I don't like underestimating Mike Tomlin, and that's exactly what I didn't do. What I successfully avoided doing, because the Steelers covered the 7-point spread against Miami this week. But the Eagles are a completely different animal. They're the best team in the NFL in my books. I'll take the Eagles to win this game, 31-13, and that, Timothy Richard McClelland, is my lock of the week.
That would actually be James, by the way.
James McClelland, Timothy James McClelland, my lock of the week.
Yeah. All right. For those of y'all who don't know, my name is Timothy James McClellan, and I'm trying to get this friggin' lock up here, but this thing's moving so cold. There it is. That's Flynn's lock of the week. Eagles over Steelers. Natalie, go.
All right, guess that just leaves me left as the only person who hasn't submitted their lock of the week yet. Will it be this game? Let's find out. Somehow the Steelers are a mystery team. You never know what they're going to do. Somehow, 2 weeks ago, they pulled off probably one of the biggest upsets of the season. How'd they upset the Bucks? Who knows? Here, I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping that Philly loses eventually, so that way my team, the Giants, can catapult and get in first place. Somehow, I don't know why. I think the Steelers are going to make this. They're going to make this interesting. Will they cover the spread? Yes. Will they win this game? Absolutely not. The Eagles are just too good. They're going to win this one, 30-23.
All right. So Natalia's got the Eagles 30-23. Dino, who you got?
I'm going to take Pittsburgh 30-23.
What's that? What?
Now, that is an upset if I've ever heard one for this week. Wow. I don't have the cojones to do something like that. I just got to roll with them chickens. There is a reason why they are the best team in the NFC right now. Great quarterback, great running backs, great receivers. And Pittsburgh is just they're still struggling, but I still don't see how those Steelers could have beaten those Packers in Green Bay. We'll get to those Packers in just a little bit. But as far as this game's concerned, this is probably my blowout game of the week. It's not my lock because I've already locked my Cowboys. I'm taking those chickens 35-17. Fly, chickens, fly. And now we go to an AFC South matchup featuring the Tennessee Titans against the Houston Texans. Game is in Houston, and the Titans are 2-point favorites. Flynn, anything worth keeping an eye on in this one?
Well, I mean, I think this is a type of game that I think Tennessee finds a way to win because look, because the Titans are what they're now 4-2, and they've got a heck of a coach in Mike Vrabel who just keeps finding ways to win. Now the Titans have already beaten Indianapolis twice, and I think but I do think in the division game this is going to be competitive. I think the Texans are going to put up some points here. but I think this is going to be the Derrick Henry show. I think the Titans are going to go down by 14 points in the fourth quarter, but they're going to come back and win in overtime. Titans 27, Texans 24.
Wow.
In a dramatic comeback victory.
Oh, wow. Comeback victory there. Oh, and she's kind of late, but better late than never. Hey, Brandy. How you doing, sweetheart?
Whoa.
Wanted to jump on and say hello to you before I go to sleep. Hugs and good night. Good night. Sleep well. Tell the hubby I said hello. Okay, thank you. All right, now let's go to Natalie with his pick here. It's Titans and Texans.
I mean, this game puzzles me. Is well, not puzzling for who I'm going to pick, but the 2-point spread really baffles me. And that was super generous. The Texans are pretty much the worst team in that whole league. Really the only one worthy of being mentioned right now is Brandon Cooks. He's probably their best player right now. They have no defense. Tennessee is going to run all over them. Henry, all their receivers. This is going to be a cakewalk. This is my lock of the week. Give me the Titans 31, Texans 17.
All right, okay.
Everybody's locked in.
Yep.
Everybody's got their locks. Natalie's locking up the Titans.
And what I like is it's 4 different games for each of us.
4 different ones. Very interesting here. Well, for my pick, I'm gonna roll with the Texans. This has got to be Derrick Henry's game to get at least 100 yards rushing here. In fact, I think he may get maybe 125. And I'm going to take the Titans to win this one by a score of 28-16.
All right, Dino, what's your pick?
Dino. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Dino.
I got the Tennessee Titans winning 28-17, and I got the Houston Astros losing in 5 games in the World Series.
To the Phillies. That's right. We got the Phillies are in the World Series for the first time in 13 years.
5 games.
And just imagine if it was the format we were used to seeing, they would have never even made the playoffs.
I know.
Right.
And also the Eagles schedule fits up perfectly with the Phillies schedule because the Phillies play in Houston Friday and Saturday night. Sunday is a travel day for the Astros and Phillies, and the Steelers have a game at Lincoln Financial Field, and then the three days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the Phillies are home. So it's going to be a lot of partying at the Philly Sports Complex in South Philly starting on Sunday.
All right. So Phillies are in the World Series. The Eagles are flying high in the NFL. They just need the Flyers to do something in the NHL, I guess. Let us move on now to a very interesting. Well, this may sound weird. This next game kind of holds a special place in my heart, and for one simple reason. I'll explain that in just a moment. Right now, it is the Washington Commanders against the Indianapolis Colts. It's in Indianapolis, and the Colts are 3-point favorites. So, Flynn, what do you see here?
This was the single toughest game of the week for me to pick. And I have no idea what Washington's going to be. I have no idea what Indianapolis is going to be. So I was anticipating a Carson Wentz revenge matchup against the Colts because it was the team that dumped him after that horrendous end of the season, and Matt Ryan. But Matt Ryan just got benched for Sam Ehlinger, and Carson Wentz is hurt, and Taylor Heineke is going to be the quarterback in this game for Washington. So Taylor Heineke against Sam Ehlinger. Oh baby, this is going to be some matchup maybe. But look, I'm going to take the Colts. I'll take the team with the better head coach. I'll take the team with the better defense. I'll take the Colts to win 31-24 over Washington.
All right, Natalie, what do you see here?
Yeah, this one's kind of tough. This one can go either way. Yeah, we got a lot of rookies in this game. We also on Washington we have Brian Robinson. who knows how he's going to do. It's pretty much going to. I think it's going to come down to the last minute. I can envision an overtime here. I see a game-winning field goal in overtime by the Colts, 23-20.
All right, Dano.
18-17. Colts win.
Ooh, low-scoring nail-biter right there. Well, the reason that this game holds a special place in my heart is because of the starting quarterback for Sam Ehlinger. I got to hook him up. Sam Ehlinger from Texas. Hook 'em horns.
That's going to be
It did very
quarterback
well.
this week.
Yeah, he did very well, kind of bringing Texas back out of the doldrums of the bowl season. But he did quite well there. Drafted by the Colts, even though he had a very good discussion with the Cowboys before the year of that particular draft last year. Man, it would have been nice if Sam Ehlinger would have been drafted by the Cowboys. That probably would have been great. But anyway, Taylor, we're going to break open a bottle of Heineke. That bottle will get finished pretty quickly because I see the Colts winning this one. It's going to be a close one. I'm going to take the points for Washington. It will be a 3-point victory for the Colts. Give me the Colts to win 23-20. Go Sam Ehlinger. Hook 'em horns. Now we have the second of our in-state games here. This one over in the Golden State. It's in Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Rams are at home against the San Francisco 49ers. Niners coming in at 1.5-point favorites. So, Flynn, it's almost even, I guess.
Yeah, after the 49ers trade for Christian McCaffrey, which is a big story because Christian McCaffrey made his 49ers debut on Sunday. He got involved as a one down back, but now he's going to be much more involved with the offense after learning his teammates. So I'm going to pick the 49ers because I think they have the better team. I think that their roster 2 through 53 is unbelievable. I think that the Chiefs exposed the biggest but for the 49ers in terms of being the team to beat to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, and that's Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo was not particularly effective against Kansas City's defense. I'll take the 49ers. I think they have fewer question marks than the Rams. I'll take San Francisco to win 24-21 over the Rams.
All right, Natalie.
This game, I think, is going to be. This game will have the highest combined point total among all the games. With the 49ers probably have the better run game, but I think on the other side, the Rams have the receiving game, which makes this really tough. But the acquisition of Christian McCaffrey, I think, is going to give them a slight edge. And using him, you're probably not going to see Debo running the ball much anymore, and they still have Jeff Wilson too. So I think it's going to come down to the very last minute here. It's going to be, I think, a game-winning field goal in the last minute by Robbie Gould, 34-31 San Francisco.
All righty then. Dino, who do you got?
31-28. 49ers lose.
Oh, he's going with the Rams here. Interesting. But I'm going to go with the Niners on this one, even though the Rams are going to keep it close. 49ers are starting to look good again. Like Flynn said, fewer question marks for the Niners than with the Rams. So taking the Rams by 4. Give me the Ram. No. I'm taking the Niners to win. Niners 28, Rams 24. Now, before we go into the next couple of games, we only got like 3. We only got 3 more games to cover. But before we do, we have a couple of some fantasy questions from a couple of our viewers here. One of us viewing us on Twitch. How you doing? This is interesting question here from APZAR12.
I'm gonna
Trade
say no.
Kelsey for Fournette and Waller.
I'm gonna say no.
I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't.
Waller hasn't been particularly good.
Yeah, I would keep it the way it is, especially since there's going to be some running back controversy that's going to come up somewhere, and you can take advantage of it elsewhere. I mean, Travis Kelce is the best tight end in fantasy, so I would
But
definitely.
If you're the one that's receiving Kelsey, I would say yes. But
Yeah,
if you're the one trading Kelsey, I would say no.
right.
All right, thank you for that question right here. We have another one from here. Let's put this one up here. Here's an interesting one. Let's see it. This is from JJ Keats. Terry McLaurin for Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Chase Claypool.
Oh,
That's a tough one.
I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire just lost a starting job as a running back. So as the Chiefs, I mean, Isaac Pacheco has taken over as the starting running back for Kansas City. So I picked him up in fantasy in my other leagues. I mean, so I'm going to take whoever has McLaurin is someone who I like. Now, Chase Claypool is someone that could be on the trading block for the Steelers because the trade deadline is next week. So Chase Claypool could have a better situation. Maybe if Chase Claypool gets traded to somebody like the Giants, gets traded to someone like the Green Bay Packers, I think it would make a lot more sense. So I would keep what you have because Terry McLaurin seems to do his best when Taylor Heineke is the starting quarterback, and that's exactly the situation we have right now when it comes to Washington. And I think we have one more question.
Yes, we do. We have let's go ahead. Thank you, JJ.
They
And,
said no
we
one
have-
trading them.
Yeah. We have this one from Randy Miller. How do you guys feel about Khalil Mack, Justin Herbert, and DJ Moore for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I like DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore is gonna have a bigger volume now that Robbie Anderson is out, and also Khalil Herbert. We'll have to see what happens. He's only going to get legit RB1 production if David Montgomery goes down. So, but if you feel comfortable with Herbert starting as the third running option, because we saw last night Justin Fields and David Montgomery were a pretty good 1-2 punch. So I would feel a lot better about DJ Moore than I would about Khalil Herbert.
Any other comments?
Yeah, you're probably better off riding with DJ Moore. He's probably the best Panthers player, but I would recommend visiting the waiver wire too. You might find better options out there.
Yeah, I think DJ Moore is on the decline. I think so.
I mean, DJ Moore did catch a touchdown against Tampa last week, but he's still very much a possibility to be traded because of the Panthers fire sale.
Right. Well, we want to thank all you guys for those fancy questions. Y'all just keep coming to me, bringing them in here. If guy got something to say, just shout it out, and we'll try to see if we can answer it the best way we can. Meanwhile, going back to the schedule now, we have. Well, this is going to be interesting. Or actually, it's going to be interesting mostly for Natalie than it is going to be for Flynn, since Flynn still lives in New York. Natalie was in New York, now lives in Washington. It is the Seattle Seahawks at home against the very surprising New York Giants. Seahawks coming in at 3-point favorites. Flynn, this doesn't quite sound right.
Well, if you even watch the Seahawks and Geno Smith, I mean, the game is in Seattle. You got the 12th man. That's gonna play a role into this. But this is the game of the week for a reason. This is the only matchup in the NFL this week between two teams that are 500 or better, and both these teams haven't surprising this season. So I think I think it's gonna be a fun matchup. This is the game of the week. But I'm riding with my boys. I'm riding with my guy Brian Dable. I'm riding with my guy Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is playing the best football of his career, and Brian Dable, Mike Kafka has done a brilliant game plan against Jacksonville last week, and the defense is getting it done when it matters the most. So I'm gonna take the now. Granted, the Giants are decimated with injuries on the offensive line with Evan Neal out, Ben Breton out, and Daniel Bellinger out for probably the rest of the season with his eye injury. So, but the new guys keep stepping in. Tyree Phillips, I thought, played a really good right tackle after Evan Neal got hurt. And as for the defense, could this be the game where Azeez Ojulari comes back and sets up a fearsome foursome on that defensive line? Then we'll have to see the injury reports throughout the week. But the Giants have the third worst injury luck of any team in the NFL. Yet they're 6-1. They have the second best team record in the NFL. So I'm going to take the team with the better head coach. I'll take the team with the better defense. I'll take the Giants. I'll take the Giants in an upset special, 31-30 over Seattle.
All right, I hear you there. Let's go ahead and sound the alarm again.
All right.
So long
there we
on
go.
my end
All right,
screen
Natalie.
here. Yeah, go.
Yeah, I'm gonna first. I'm gonna probably follow a little bit of a follow-up from what Flynn said about the Bellinger thing. Aren't you a little surprised that they didn't call a foul on that when he poked him in the eye?
Oh my God, the refs were so bad in that game. I mean, in the last 10 years of watching Giants games, that was the worst refereeing I've ever seen from in a Giants game. It was so bad. I mean, they made up penalties without showing them. I mean, that dump hands to the face penalty when there wasn't really a penalty there. The rest were trying to give that game to the Jaguars. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was wanting to get your perspective on that. I didn't see the game, but I heard about the eye poke thing there.
Yeah, the rest were so bad on Sunday.
So it remains to be seen now if Chris Myrick or Tanner Hudson will be able to step in at tight end, see how they do. And although Giants, although they do have an offensive line problem right now, they seem to be playing with the next man up mentality, and it seems to be working. The next man up situation. I think this game is going to be very close. Both teams are playing beyond expectations. I had the Seahawks finishing in last place in my initial predictions, and right now they're in first place. I'm pretty shocked. Yeah, Geno Smith has been pretty solid. Their receivers have been pretty solid too. But I think in the end it's going to come down to defense, and the team with the better defense, I think, right now is the Giants. It's going to be pretty close, but I'm going to ride with my boys too. I'm going to go Giants 24. Seattle 22.
All right. And Dino, what do you say?
I say Seattle wins 30-27.
Of course.
Yeah, he'll take the points. I think he thinks that the Giants will cover, get the exact 3 points, but going with the Seahawks there. But I am going to disagree. I mean, these Giants, change of coach, change of management, slight management, but it is all going pretty good with these Giants. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know how they's doing it, but they's doing it. And for that reason, I think I made them my upset special last week. What the hell?
right. So what's your score, Tim?
You're muted
Are
again.
you? We
This
can't
thing
hear
is
you. There we
yeah.
go.
This thing is so slow on my end right here. By the time y'all finish watching this thing, I'm only about halfway through it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's how bad it is. Give me the G-Men as my upset special, 31-24 over those Seahawks. And now we go to, well, this could have been in years past, but in the couple of recent years, this would have been a great matchup. Not so much so this week. It's the Green Bay Packers going into Buffalo to take on the Bills. The Bills are at home and they are 11-point favorites, the largest spread in the league this week. I'd say 11 points is just. I think it sounds pretty good. 11-point favorites for the Bills. So Flynn, go.
Yeah, I mean, this was actually the matchup preseason in the NFL. I had to go my Super Bowl matchup preseason, but now that's obviously out the door with Aaron Rodgers. And we do need to talk about Aaron Rodgers because that's one of the questions Tim asked in the opening. Is this beginning of the end for Aaron Rodgers? Well, Aaron Rodgers wasn't there in minicamp with young, inexperienced wide receivers. He wasn't there. He wanted the money which drove Devontae Adams away. So all this I blame on Aaron Rodgers. I blame on Matt LaFleur. I blame it on Brian Gutekunst. There's so much blame to go around here with the Packers. I'll take the Bills. They're coming off a bye week. It's a Sunday night game in lovely Western New York with those fans. So I'll take the Bills to steamroll the Packers. They win 28-13.
All right, Tally.
Yeah, somehow I'm pretty surprised that the Packers are a mess right now. This takes me back to a show that Tim and I did during the offseason. Teams that made the playoffs last year that could potentially miss this year, and Packers were on my list. Yeah, I'm not sure if you remember that show, Tim, but the teams that we were talking about that looked like the role reversal teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because like I said, if without Devontae Adams, the Packers are. Without Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers is not as good because that was his number one target. But then at the same time, Aaron Rodgers is one of those guys that you don't want to drop yet, but you don't want to start either.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, this team is a big mess right now. While their defense is somewhat okay, their offense is a bit shaky. I do think, although I think the 11-point spread is a little high, I do think the Packers are going to make it interesting, but the Bills are still going to win the game 34-28.
All right, Dano.
I'm going to take Buffalo 41-21.
All right. Well, it comes down to me. I think like Flynn said, Rodgers wasn't there to practice during training camp, so I don't even know why he's complaining. If you were there, then you would have gotten to know these young receivers. You could have worked out with them, and things would be going great. But you've lost it. What is it now? 3 in a row they've lost?
Yeah, to the Giants, Jets, and Commanders.
To the Giants, to the Jets, and to the Commanders, no less. So, I would like to, if you don't mind, I'd like to get a little up close and personal here. I just want to say something to those Packer fans out there. Remember a few years ago when Aaron Rodgers tried to calm you people down? Well, I want to spell out my response now for all you Packer fans out there. PANIC. Panic. Because I think this is a time where those Packers are going to start panicking And that bad man ain't going to be so bad anymore. So for that reason, I'm taking Buffalo to win by a score of 41-24. PANIC. And last but not least, that was Buffalo and Green Bay. That's a Sunday night game. I forgot to mention it to you. Sunday night matchup, Green Bay and Buffalo. And we got the Monday night matchup, which is the third and final in-state football game. It's the Battle of the Buckeye State. It is the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. Monday Night Football on ESPN and Manning Night Football on ESPN too. I might want to catch that one.
And it's on Halloween night too. So you got the whole
Halloween night.
Yep.
There could be some tricks. There could be some treats. I wonder if Peyton and Eli are going to be dressing up.
Yeah, the Manning brothers had former President Obama on the Manning cast yesterday to talk up the '85 Bears. He was, and I appreciate him talking up my guy Daniel Jones and my guy Saquon Barkley, but next week is next week, and we're coming up to a new week. I just think the Bengals are going to win this game. I think Joe Burrow is a tremendous quarterback, and the Browns, I just don't think they're very good. I'll take the Bengals 31-21 over Cleveland.
All righty then, Natalie.
Yeah, the Bengals right now I think are clearly the better team. Yeah, Burrow's a solid quarterback. Yeah, Joe Mixon at running back. It's been very solid. Then you got a dynamic 1-2 punch with the receivers, Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd. On the Brown side, yeah, you have Nick Chubb, but he can't carry the team by himself. And David Njoku, the tight end, he's going to miss, I think, 5 weeks, which pretty much is going to sink them big time. So give me the Bengals to win this one 30-22.
Oh, interesting score there. Dino.
Bengals 31-24.
And I am going to make it unanimous here. Joe Burrow is doing a wonderful job with what he has, and Cleveland, they're just not the team that they were a couple of years ago when they surprised everyone. So I'm going to take the Bengals to win this one by a score of 28-21. And I guess that's going to do it for this edition of Fantasy Football Fever.
Yeah, don't get your tribute.
Yes, we'll take care of that. But first of all, I want to remind all you people to click on one of those links down in the description area so you'll get a hold of Hooked on Sports with John Flynn, the critically acclaimed Hooked on Sports with John Flynn right there. I should say that. So y'all catch John Flynn this week for Hooked on Sports, 2 podcasts a week during the NFL season.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little different this week because instead of Monday, Wednesday, it's gonna be tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. Because Thursday I'm doing my World Series preview. So it'll be between the Astros and the Phillies. I'll be making my official picks for that one. Also, shout out to the Phillies fans who had to suffer for many years. I know I went to college in northeastern Pennsylvania during the years when the Phillies were trotting out Sean O'Sullivan, Jared Eichhoff, and Adam Morgan of daily on a nightly basis. So now they're here, and now they're in the World Series, and Bryce Harper delivered what many of the prophecies said about him, and they were fulfilled with a tremendous swing that sent his team to the World Series. So congratulations to the Phillies fans. Of course, the Astros swept the Yankees. So I've got a lot on my plate this week with the microphone.
Yeah, he'll be working that microphone this week for Hooked on Sports. So y'all be sure to click on one of the links so you can get a hold of him. Before we sign off for this evening, we do have some very sad news to pass on. Our technical director, the lovely Irene Namer. Of course, you know she's a big Tom Brady fan. She loves the Patriots, all that. We are saddened to pass the news along that her father, Sam Namer, passed away a couple of days ago. And today was his funeral. Irene couldn't go because she had pneumonia. She had had pneumonia for the last week or so in the hospital, but she is at home right now. She's and she's recovering okay. So we just wanted to send our wishes and our love and our condolences to Irene and to her family, and hope they just say a prayer for them out there, because they could really use your love and your support right now in this tragic time. Sam Namer, rest in peace. Shalom.
God be with you.
And with that, we will sign off tonight. For John Flynn, John Talley, and for our friend Dino, my name is Tim McClellan. Thanks for watching us. God bless you, and always be a good sport. See ya.